with me, Josh, as your host again this week. This is your chance to get yourself comfortable, relax in the English sun, if you're in England. We'll bring you an update on this week's footballs. We talk news. Dave gets his brain changed in a Spanish-themed quiz. We review this weekend's football, and then Dave has the honour of guessing this week's Wikifile. So that sounds like something you'd enjoy. Drop us a like, subscribe if you already haven't to our channels on YouTube and Spotify so you don't miss out each week, as we're here probably around 10 a.m. on Sundays, even on those pesky international breaks. But now over to my co-host, the man with the tech, with the spiky hair. It's all the way from Singapore, Mr. David Nichols.
Oh, man, tech, everything is letting me down this week, Josh. We had issues last week. We've got issues this week, and computer's been rebuilt, basically. And what I did is I salvaged all of the graphics that are surrounding our faces right now on YouTube. But, unfortunately, what I didn't salvage was all the actual techie bits about how this works over Skype and how it then gets put on YouTube.
A man of your calibre, a man so technically savvy as yourself, never in doubt.
I know, but we're about there. There are a few little tweaky bits missing. I'm sure there's some issues with YouTube as well going on in the background, but hopefully you can hear us. Hopefully we're coming through loud and clear, and apologies if there are some little buggy bits here and there, but, you know.
So whilst Dave was doing it, I quoted a film to him, and now it's a very niche quote, but if anyone wants to have a guess. It's 2 words, it was with a phone. I said, "Good luck." And I was like, "Oh, Dave, do you know what it is?" And he was unaware of what the film was. Now, feel free to have a guess what that was. But it turns out Dave's not seen as many films as I hoped he'd seen. So I'm going to have to give him a list of films to watch I've enjoyed over the past few years. And feel free to drop in the comments any films you feel Dave should watch. But I won't tell you the name of the film that was just yet. But another film he hasn't seen any of the John Wick films, which, I mean, if you just want something in the background just to kind of every now and again you look up and like, oh my goodness, that is ridiculous. And it's just a fun film to watch.
Cool. Yeah, the John Wick films, they're always on my list, and they never made it to the top of the list because I'm not a film guy. But this isn't film talk, Josh, it's football talk.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's football talk. Well, let's chat some news then, shall we, Dave? So midweek, we had the Europa League got round round 32 got tied up, and we had a Europa League draw. So before the draw, we obviously had teams got knocked out, and one English team's fate was of knockout, and it was Leicester City.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't realised it was brought to my attention that Brendan Rodgers has got a horrible record in Europe.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah. And the bit that stands in my mind of his bad record in Europe was we had something. It happened to Poch as well. When Poch was at Spurs, he was ever progressing, ever improving European record. I mean, if we kept him for another season, who knows what might happen. It's a bit that sticks in my mind. Brendan Rodgers is when they went away to Real Madrid at the Bernabeu and put out a second-string side. I was like, "What? This isn't the Europa League, mate. You take this one seriously. You don't put out a second string at the Bernabeu. That's disgusting behaviour." And do you reckon that's stopping him getting? Do you reckon that play on kind of prospective chairman's minds? Because he's obviously at a good job and he's doing a very good job at a good job. But do you reckon that's going to stop him getting an elite job?
No, I think he's still got one more elite job. Because Liverpool probably weren't elite when he was there, but he's definitely helped them steer in the right direction. And I reckon that is more beneficial for him than people remembering what happened in the Bernabeu and things like that. I think Brendan Rodgers is going to have one crack at maybe not quite elite, but higher class. Like, I think it's tough because I'd say, like, I kind of see Tottenham and Brendan Rodgers as a good sort of fit.
I would have been happy with Brendan as an alternative to Mourinho beforehand, and honestly, I still probably wouldn't mind him being in the mix for the future job.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the chat as well. Ross has said that, as obviously another Spurs fan, saying, Rodgers to Spurs could be an option. Is there another I couldn't see him at a Chelsea. I don't think it's an Abramovich fit. I couldn't see him at United.
Yeah, it's not an Abramovich. Yeah, Lampard was a bit of a kind of, previous player. But Brendan has got some Chelsea previous, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was coach. Yeah, he was a coach there.
Yeah, and he
But go through the
he's not the glamour of. I mean, literally, Chelsea are going to eventually run out though. Chelsea can't keep going. They're going to run out of managers at some point.
Yeah,
They're going to have to take some gambles. And yeah, obviously not Liverpool. United? Is there long enough
because of the Liverpool link.
You reckon it'll be too?
Yeah, they wouldn't take him. They wouldn't take him because of the Liverpool link. Yeah, like Man City, he's just not that level.
No, unless something's got to badly happen to Man City to go down to Rodgers' level.
Yeah.
Arsenal wouldn't be.
If they got back up,
are you considering Arsenal in that elite?
No, not at the moment. But if they got back up there, they could. Well, it was a question weirdly, I've been out at golf, and on the way back in the taxi, I was suddenly thinking, obviously, every year there's normally a bit of a tangent. There's normally a bit of a, Spurs-Arsenal rivalry about, is it St Tottenham Day, when Arsenal always finish above Spurs? Well,
they haven't done for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, is that a thing now, still? Is that because Spurs are better than Arsenal and have been for a couple of seasons? Generally,
I personally, I don't. It's a shame because for me, when the rivalry was strong, when Arsenal were in my head, when Arsenal were great and Spurs were striving, we never achieved. And I'm not saying we always beat them. That's by no means the case. But we've typically finished above them and been on the up where they've been on the down. I don't feel that strong a rivalry between two. I feel a stronger rivalry against Chelsea over the last few seasons.
Okay, yeah, okay. Cutting.
That's how it feels to me. And I mean, it all comes down to. I mean, I always say I look back fondly at the Battle of the Bridge. It wasn't meant to be that season, but what a game that was! I just thoroughly enjoyed that game. And look, I mean, the bit I don't like about it is the eye gouging from Moussa Dembele, which saw him suspended. But everything else, I stand by.
Yeah.
I do have. So this is obviously Europa League chat.
Sorry, yeah.
So we've got the next round. So United against Milan. Lovely little draw, that one.
Yeah, return as Zlatan.
Yeah. We have Spurs versus Dino Zagreb. Again, we've had a few of their players. We've got like Croatian. Olympiacos v Arsenal, which is just a regular draw. I mean, they must have played each other
Wasn't it Olympiacos that knocked Arsenal out last year? Or 2 years ago?
I think they have done, yeah. I mean, I remember Giroud getting a hat-trick saving their Champions League.
It was something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
and then,
but they played each other a lot.
Yeah.
We've still got Rangers in there against Slavia Prague, who knocked out Leicester. Yeah, it's all good. But my question I have for you:
nice.
If United were to win the Europa League, okay, and that's the only thing you win that season, how low could United finish in the league where you'd still consider it a successful season?
Ooh. Right now, from where we are right now.
Well, yeah, you're basing it now, but obviously at the end of the season. Yeah. So you are in your everything up to date is actuals. Anything ahead of us is forecast.
Fifth, anything below fifth, I think. So okay, I'm just having a quick flick.
Because you're getting Champions League football by the qualification.
Yeah, but
you're happy to go outside the top four.
Because I'm looking at the league table and I'm saying, I don't think we should lose 9 points to Liverpool between now and the end of the season.
So at this point in time, if Liverpool finish above you, you'd be like, "What has happened?"
I think I'd be annoyed, yeah. But if they somehow got in the top four and we're in the top four, then that doesn't really bother me. I think
okay,
yeah. I think below.
So what if you finish sixth? What if you finish sixth and Liverpool seventh?
What? But we've won the Europa League.
Yeah.
It would be a disappointing season to be in second right now and finish sixth. But I wouldn't be like, oh, Ole's got to go. He's got his remit will be it's in the Champions League this year, and he would have done that by hook or crook. And this year it looks pretty good, sitting second. Leicester, West Ham in fourth. It baffles me every time I see that in the table.
Yeah, as I always say, eventually form's like slinky. They squeeze together, they separate apart, and we've just come off the back of West Ham's great run of form. I would expect them to fade slightly, not like relegation form, but I would expect them to now go on a poorer run of games and fade away a little bit, but probably still find themselves within the top 7, I'd say. Okay,
so I'll flip the question to you. What is a positive season for Spurs right now?
If we win Europa League?
No.
The same question back at me?
Is that yeah, but is that the only thing that makes this season positive, winning the Europa League? There's the League Cup Is league?
I say we lose the lose the League Cup to City.
Lose the League Cup.
Win the Europa League. Where do we finish?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm finishing. I don't really care where we finish, honest with you. We could finish 17th, and
Okay.
I'd be like, that would be a huge achievement for Spurs winning the Europa League. I mean, it would. Because it may be because one is causing the other because you're prioritising the Europa League, but you win that Europa League and you've got to another cup final. I think I'm accepting League form may suffer. I'm probably not 17th, but if you finish like mid-table with that, if you finish where we are, 9th at the moment,
all right,
and win the Europa League, I'm happy.
So you win the League Cup, you don't win the Europa League. Where then in the league is?
No, you need to finish higher. You need to finish. I want you to prove that you can finish kind of a top 6.
Top 6.
Well, no. Ideally, you obviously want to be in the Champions League places.
7 points away, top
football.
6.
Oh, you say to take a successful season?
Yeah. So if you win the League Cup, but you don't win the Europa League, where do you need to finish in the league for a successful season for Spurs?
I still think that would be a successful season, top 6.
Yeah,
It's a competitive league, isn't it? You've won a trophy. Only 4 other clubs, well, maybe 3 other clubs will win a trophy that season, or with 2 European trophies.
Yeah, but it's quite a fall for someone that got to the Champions League final and was Champions League every season for 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row.
Oh, at least, yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd love to be in the Champions League. I really would, and I think it's probably necessary for Spurs to be in the Champions League for our finances.
Yes, I think you touched on that before, that you think that's the only thing that would stop a big sale of a big player. So
yeah, albeit now I think thinking about the thing that will stop a big sale is lack of money from buying clubs, unless there's someone who's unaffected. Right, let's move on to other bits of news. Obviously, we had Champions League during the week. We had a great result for Chelsea away at Atletico.
Yeah.
And that's that for me is a result that Lampard would never have got. Never ever.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think Lampard could have done that. Oh, it could have done, but I think it wouldn't have been as emphatic as Tuchel's Chelsea did it, I think. Like, it wasn't hook and crook, it was a good performance. It was a really good performance from Tuchel's Chelsea.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then Man City brushed aside Mönchengladbach with consummate ease for that time, their 19th win in a row, which is now, spoiler alert, they've got 20.
Yeah.
20. Other bits of news. I just want to remind everybody that Jadon Sancho exists, the forgotten young talent of English football. I think all the talk has been this year of Grealish, Mount, Maddison, Foden. Remember Jadon Sancho exists. I think because Dortmund were a little bit slow themselves in the start of the season. He's had a great start to 2021. I think he's got 12 goal contributions in the last 10 games.
Yeah.
For the youngest player to reach 50 Bundesliga assists, the youngest player to reach 35 Bundesliga goals. I think when he did it, amazing talent, and don't forget his and all that. I think what detracted from it is it seemed like his summer was just a transfer rumour, really, and something that really helps anyone.
Yeah, it's one of those. It was a bit more than a rumour, which is what I think made it even more awkward. Because obviously there definitely was bidding going on, and Man United were trying to negotiate. And I still believe he did sort of want to move back to UK, Manchester, however you want to describe it. But I know what you mean. Yeah, it's sort of like everyone's just sort of that happened, and then it was like, well, he's not here, so he's off the radar for a little bit.
It's going to be all in a bit of a mess, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I still dream of him in a Spurs shirt, and I feel like we missed our boat because I think we could have taken him after Man City. We had a viable option to take him. I do dream of him as a front three of Sancho, Kane, and Son being something that my dreams made of.
Yeah,
but
never going to happen.
I'll have to put up the rejuvenated Gareth Bale for the moment. Oh God!
Really? Is rejuvenated the word you're going for?
Yeah.
I mean, he's all right.
Have you not seen him recently? Have you not seen? He's getting there. I tweeted the other day. I was like, it's annoying because we're going to have to send him. We put all in his work, and we've got him back to he's playing pretty regularly now. He's starting to score goals, and then he's going to go back to Real Madrid. I really feel like if we've done this and getting back to any form, we might as well. We probably should keep him for another season. Is how I see it.
I think. Well, I think you might. I think Levy might do it again. I think Levy might get him back in for another year. So, but Yeah, it's all well and good him coming to form, but on coming into fitness and form and getting this performances going. But there are only 12 games left of the season, so
he's winning us the Europa League, Dave.
Oh, is he? Okay, is he?
He's gonna score an overhead kick in the final against Arsenal, and he's gonna win us the.
How dare you? At least say he's going to score against Man United.
We can crush your dreams as well. Okay,
yeah, that's fine.
He's in a dream-crushing business, is Gareth Bale. Right, final one. I just wanted to mention that we spoke about this a while back, where I championed Eddie Howe for the post. He's not even appointed, but Neil Lennon has left Celtic. They're managerless. They won yesterday. There's no real rush on Celtic's part because they've only really got the Scottish Cup to play for, I think.
Yeah.
The league's gone, Europe's gone. But who's your tip for the managerial position? We've got Benitez, Howe, Lampard. Any of those?
I think because you've got the likes of a Benitez and a Eddie Howe available, I don't think Lampard's in the running. Only because of the experience Eddie Howe's got in terms of how long he was in the Premiership and stuff. I think Celtic will see that as a more of a benefit than Lampard. So I would say it's got to be between Benitez and Eddie Howe. And I would say Celtic are missing a trick if they didn't go for Benitez.
Absolutely.
And I would prefer Benitez to get it. But I wonder if Benitez is looking at it thinking, I can do better. I think Benitez might look at it and think I can do better.
Well, so I think Celtic would probably have to act quickly and get him before the summer, before there's another merry-go-round, and he gets other jobs open up. So if I was in charge of Celtic, and I know there's a lot of criticism of how they run, they probably won't act like this, but I'd be moving heaven and earth to try and get him, and that would be really fun for. It's kind of like when Lampard and Mourinho are head-to-head, being Benitez and Gerrard head-to-head, I think.
Well, yeah. I think even if it's a case that, like, in Benitez's contract or something, there's a line written into it that says something like, if a top 10 Premier League club come in, then it's 50% of the compensation or something. Or, there's a get-out clause that he has. Try and get him in as Celtic manager. That would be unbelievable, I think. It would give...
I think that would be a really big boom for Scottish football. It seems a bit... Because obviously Rangers, it's good progressing in Europe, and Rangers doing really well, and going on a great race. Great to have that. I mean, it's lacking competitiveness now because it's swung the other way. But getting both Scottish sides competitive is great for Scottish football. So I'll be glad to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right. Any other news items you want to mention, Dave?
No, not really. It's recently come out that Tuchel has admitted he tried to sign Bruno Fernandes for PSG before he moved to United. So there was interest from other parties. So that's really shocked me because I thought it was a one club deal. I didn't think anyone would go in for him because of.
Well, I thought Spurs were pretty close as well.
Yeah, I think they were at some point. But yeah, I mean the big talking point's coming up in the reviews. So let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here comes the quiz then. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time. I'm always scared of singing the wrong tune. I don't know why. It's never set in my head. So this quiz is called Name a Spaniard. And by my reckonings, now feel free to disagree, there are 26 first-team Spanish players playing in the Premier League.
Oh.
Now, so you'd need to name 13 to get 50% here, Dave. And I've helpfully crossed out the clubs. So I've given you a list of 20 clubs. I've helpfully crossed out the 5 clubs who don't have a Spaniard. So Aston Villa, Burnley, Everton, Sheffield United, shock horror. Sheffield United and Burnley not having Spaniards, who'd have thought it? So sorry, Aston Villa, Burnley, Everton, Sheffield United and West Brom don't have a Spanish player playing for them. Okay?
Right.
So the other 15 clubs between them have 26 players, and you need to name 13. You can approach it as you want. You can try and name one for each club and go through it methodically. You can kind of go, they've got a number of Spaniards playing there, and go. How do you feel, Dave?
Scattergun. That's what I'm doing.
Scattergun, right?
Yeah.
Name the club. Name the players.
Man City, Rodri.
Man City, Rodri. Is that all you're naming?
At the moment, yeah. I'm just going to try and tick one off at the moment.
Okay.
Man United, Juan Mata.
Man United, Juan Mata.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, Adama Traore.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, Adama Traore.
Chelsea, Azpilicueta.
Chelsea, Azpilicueta.
Crystal Palace have a Spaniard. That's thrown me off a bit. Okay.
All the clubs you've named so far have more than one Spaniard playing for them, by the way, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. I know. I've got that. Liverpool, Thiago Alcantara.
Thiago, correct.
I'm trying to get through people without naming two from one club straight away.
Okay, cool. So have you got no one for Arsenal then? Arsenal have...
I was going to say Pablo Mari, but he's definitely... Oh, Hector Bellerin. Pablo Mari's Brazilian, I think, isn't he?
Yes, Pablo Mari is Brazilian.
Yeah. So Hector Bellerin, for Arsenal.
Hector Bellerin, yes.
Brighton and Hove Albion.
Brighton and Hove Albion, yes. We've mentioned him in recent weeks, and I'm really starting to feel Brighton are like a second side for me now. I'm seeing it being with the incidents yesterday. I'm really starting. It's strange. I've never felt like this way about a club before on Spurs. I'm feeling some affection towards them.
Okay, Brighton.
And Hove, don't forget the Hove.
And the Hove, sorry. Brighton and Hove, yeah. Between them, they must have one Spaniard.
They do.
I was going to say Montoya, but I think he's left.
Not Montoya.
Okay,
we'll move on to that. You've got Crystal Palace yet to name him.
Yeah, Crystal Palace as a Spaniard. There's no one jumping out. I'm getting my Excel filter on again, and I'm going through it, and I'm trying to filter by flag. Who jumps out at me from Crystal Palace?
What's the Spanish flag for anybody who doesn't know?
Red and yellow with a little... it's like a sort of... I would say a coat of arms in it. I don't know. Actually, that's how I'd describe it. Red and yellow with a coat of arms there. Okay, we'll come back to Crystal Palace. Everton.
Let's go to Fulham.
Everton don't have one. Fulham.
I'd say that's one of the harder ones, I'd say.
Caviero, or is he Portuguese?
Who, sorry?
Ivan Caviero. He's a winger.
Oh, right. No, it's not him.
No, okay.
Portuguese. He came from Wolves, didn't he?
He did, yeah. So, he did. Okay, no, we'll leave them as well. It's getting tough now. Leeds.
Yeah. Leeds, I mean, spoiler alert, they have the most Spaniards of any...
Really? Oh, my God.
4 in total, so take your pick, Dave.
Rodrigo,
yes. Former Bolton forward.
Abel Hernandez.
Oh, finally... No, that's not right. I'm sorry, I'm not getting
Pablo Hernandez, sorry.
Pablo Hernandez. You go for 2. You're now... I can hear the sound of a barrel being scraped. You've gone for 2 from one club now.
Yeah, you have. Rafinha, or is he Brazilian?
Brazilian.
Oh.
Loving in Brazilian. They speak Portuguese for anyone. The only country in South America who speak Portuguese is Brazil. The other ones speak Spanish. Yeah.
Nice. That geography coming in useful.
Yeah, finally. Degrees put used to use. Yeah. Leicester City.
Iosi Perez. Is he their only one?
He's their only one.
Yeah. Liverpool. I said Thiago. Have they got another?
They have got another.
Pass. We'll come back to that because I think.
Well, the clubs you haven't named. You haven't named the Newcastle one yet.
Oh, Javi Manquillo at Newcastle.
Yes. Who's got a twin brother, Dave?
He has. Who used to play for Atletico Madrid B.
Yeah, and what's his name? Was it Victor?
I think it was Victor. Yeah, I think it was Victor. Yeah.
Okay, Southampton?
Southampton.
You name these 3 missing clubs, you're at halfway, by the way, Dave. You name a Southampton, a Spurs, and a West Ham Spaniard, you're at halfway.
Oh, Spurs is... oh, my God. The left-back you bought and beat us to. Reguilon. Sergio Reguilon.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Again, he's got mentioned. I mentioned him last week.
Romeo. Yeah, Romeo.
Yeah. And now West Ham. Can he do it?
West Ham have a Spaniard, and his name is... Long pause.
No, it's not that.
Damn. I feel like it's a... No, is it a goalkeeper?
No.
No, but Brighton's is. Sanchez.
Yeah. Yes, Robert Sanchez for Brighton. Yes. Nice.
West Ham.
That is you halfway, by the way. That is you at 50%.
Come on. Okay, West Ham.
So for decent money, I think from Villarreal. I like a bit of Villarreal. I see Davinson Sanchez for Spurs centre back, being a Villarreal player in the future, by the way.
Yeah, I could see that. Signed from Villarreal.
I think so. For like 25 million, I want to say, and he's not been standout, but he's trusted. He plays.
Fornals, or is he Argentinian?
Pablo Fornals.
Is it Pablo Fornals? Okay.
It is Pablo Fornals. So the only clubs you have not named a player for is Crystal Palace and Fulham.
So Crystal Palace, I think...
You know this one. This is obvious.
What, Crystal Palace?
He's in a starting 11. He's definitely been mentioned on the pod. He's been, sometimes mostly good, sometimes bad.
Does he keep them in games a lot?
He does.
Guaita, the goalkeeper.
Yes.
I thought it was Argentinian. I thought he was Argentinian. What?
Yeah, that's a fair shout. A goalkeeper, bleach blonde hair. I think most people think Argentinian. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It seems to work.
Yeah.
Fulham's, I don't think you're going to get is Fabry. I think he might be a substitute goalkeeper.
No,
but I'm not. Do you want me to list through the remaining 11 you haven't got? Or you've still got
what was my total in the end? What was my total?
You got 15. You got 58%.
Okay, nice. Give me what
You've
big
got a second
clubs?
Manchester United one, haven't you?
I've said a Man United one.
Yeah, you've got a second Man United player you haven't named.
Oh. Who did I name? Juan Mata. I mean, there's got to be one that's playing more regularly than him.
Yeah.
Say
like every week.
David De Gea. Yeah, David De Gea. Yeah.
Yeah. Any more Man City players?
I've got Rodri. So is Diaz still there? No, he moved to Madrid. Brahim Diaz. I think he's moved, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cancelo's Portuguese. Do you know what? I've passed, so you can put me out of my misery. Go on.
Okay, so we'll go from the top. So Arsenal had 2, Bellerin and Ceballos. You've named Brighton's 1, Robert Sanchez. Chelsea have 3. You named Azpilicueta. There's Marcos Alonso and Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace is Guaita. Fulham's Fabry. Leeds, you named Pablo Hernandez and Rodrigo. There's also Llorente and Casilla. You named Leicester's 1 of Jose Perez. Liverpool's 2, you named Thiago, but you missed out the all-star goalkeeper, Adrian. Man City, we had Rodri and soon-to-be sold Eric Garcia at centre-back and recently bought from Valencia, Ferran Torres. You got Manchester United's 2 of De Gea and Mata. You got Newcastle's 1 of Manquillo. Southampton's 1 of Romeo. Spurs is 1 of Reguilon, West Ham's 1 of Fornals, and Wolves have 2. You named Adama Traore, the final one, injured left back Johnny.
Oh, yeah. There's something about goalkeepers. I just forget them being Spanish.
Do you know what? I mean, how we got De Gea, we got Adrian, we've got Casilla, Fabry, Guaita, Kepa, Sanchez. Yeah, it's probably 6, 7 goalkeepers there, Spanish.
Just forgot about them. Yeah.
Maybe it's because Spanish quite like a bit of handball.
Maybe. I'd say the reason I may have forgotten about them is because Spain are very much a country that have a set goalkeeper for the year. Like, I mean, if you think... I know they've rotated a little bit recently with Kepa and David De Gea. And... third one that I can't remember the name of. But they've always had, like De Gea was there for years. Casillas was there for years. They've never really chopped and changed a lot.
No, I always joked that when Liverpool had Pepe Reina, I was like, fifth choice Spanish goalkeeper, because they just seem to have an array of goalkeepers, but you weren't getting game time in the national team. Yeah. The only other country I think is more synonymous in the Premier League with goalkeepers is probably USA. That probably makes up a proportion of goalkeepers in terms of the foreign nationals who come to play in the league. I think that's probably high as goalkeepers, I'd say.
Very true, yeah. Yeah, very true. Very true. I enjoyed that quiz. That was good. It was pulling on a little different bit of knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, let's leave the quiz and let's go to review yesterday's game. So we had probably, 4 or 5 games yesterday? Let's take a look at the Craig Bellamy derby. I've just scrolled down to the bottom and realised that there was a later game, which I saw at the time was 1-1. So I hope it finished 1-1 in the Temurket Spire derby. But let's see. It
did finish 1-1, yeah.
Phew, right. Who says we don't do our research here? So Craig Bellamy derby. Thoughts on Craig Bellamy? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we had 2-1 Man City, 20 wins in a row, 14 wins in a row. Just as a throw out there, 14 wins around the Premier League, 18 is a record, so they need to win 5 more games in a row Can they do it?
Yes, they can. Will they do it? Is the question you wanted to ask.
Let's just quickly pull up who their next.
I'm going
games.
with no.
They just won all of their matches in February, which included Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, Everton, and West Ham. So I'm pretty sure Manager of the Month is sorted.
Yeah, should be.
So next up we have Wolves, Manchester United, Southampton, Fulham, Leicester. Leicester away at Leicester is the 5th of those matches.
Yeah. It'll be the draw with Man United that stops it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because Ole's going to speak to Daddy Fergie to work out how to stop it, because it's so incestuous, that club. They can't move on from the Fergie era. Yeah?
I mean, that's a weird connection, but yeah, all right. Why not? I'll take it.
Do you know, it just irks me. It's just one of those things that underlying me just annoys me. It's like, move on, just get Fergie away from it. Stop watching the matches, you needy man. Go away. I thought he was
Where is this suddenly erupted from, Josh? This is incredible.
It's just because you know what? For so long, United were great with Fergie, and it's just like they realised they couldn't do that, and so they brought him back in. Oh, Fergie, can you help us? And it's just get away. Just leave him be. Let him be retired. No? Anyone else feel the same?
No, shut up. Get out. Right. Man City 2, West Ham 1.
Both centre-backs scoring. Did you see the stat I retweeted that they've now scored more as a duo playing together than they've conceded, which is crazy.
Redonkulous.
Absolutely crazy.
Is there a way that we can tell that Brahim Diaz is actually English? Can that be brilliantly done for the national team? That would be amazing.
Yeah, because then it makes Stones be a good player.
Exactly.
I will pick you up on the first name there. You've stuck to the former Man City forward Brahim Diaz.
I meant Ruben. Yeah, I meant Ruben.
Yeah,
Diaz.
But the funny thing is that a young English talent may partner Ruben Diaz at centre back, because Ezri Konsa of Aston Villa, who I quite like, does actually qualify for Portugal, and could be a Portuguese centre. Could be the Pepe replacement.
I mean, he's replacing Pepe. I don't think he would replace him in terms of body on the pitch. I hope he doesn't turn into the mentalist that is Pepe.
No, because he's got Tyrone Mings next to him who takes that banner.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So 2 goals from centre backs and another win. But I thought West Ham played really well. I thought they were coming into this one of the probably top 2 form sides. I thought. Confidence high, and it showed, and I think they're probably ruining a little bit. Not that he was at fault really, but the fact that Fabianski couldn't play in goal, I think it was just that. Whenever Spurs were kind of on the up and you wanted to test yourself against the best, it never felt like we had our best 11 available. It always felt like there was someone got injured or suspended. It was like, why can't we just see if we can do it full best 11 in form against the best, and then we can see how we're getting on. But maybe a little bit of a Diaz header, but it was a stonking header, so I don't think Randolph was to blame really. But I mean, West Ham created chances, probably more so than City did. It was a real dug of that win out, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of Man City had to work for it, and that's a credit to West Ham. I think that's a big credit to West Ham. They kept the front 4, 5, 6 players, whatever you want to call them, for Man City pretty quiet. I mean, De Bruyne came back to some of his best.
Just do his bits, wasn't he? Yeah. I mean, Aguero's still not scored a Premier League goal, and I know he's not played, but it's just crazy to think that they'd be in this position seeking out being record breakers without Aguero scoring a single goal. Yeah. I mean, for the first goal, Aguero, Stones, and Diaz are in the box. Right, the corner had been taken a few minutes earlier, and those 3 in the box. It's like your 2 centre backs are in the box. It's crazy. It's just brilliant. Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, Jesse Lingard's recovery keeps going well at West Ham. He settled in really well. He got an assist, didn't he, for Antonio's goal?
Yeah, was that going in? I couldn't quite. I haven't seen the right angle.
Yeah, I've not seen it either. I've only seen the ones that were on the game at the time, on the TV at the time. So
because I'll have to mention it, otherwise I'll be people go, oh, you're not mentioning it. He obviously scored against Spurs last week. I still look back and think that Rue missed opportunities in that match. We defended horrifically, obviously, but attacked woefully. But yeah, he's had a really good start. Is his future away from Manchester United, or is it going to be welcome back? No,
I think this. I don't think this was ever a loan in terms of go and recover your form and come back no matter what Solskjaer says. I've always thought this is a loan to prove that he can go and play.
Those loans can be cut between. They can really be normally a clean cut between youth player and senior pro, isn't it? Those, if you're a senior pro getting loaned out, it's by and large you don't come back and play. You go and join that club.
Let's be honest. West Ham love a loan then a permanent to make it a permanent deal. So. Yeah, I think I can see him staying there and actually doing quite well. Whether he's good enough to get in the England squad, he may. I think he might get into the 30 that's then reduced to 25.
We'll see. I mean, he's making a good stab. He's doing all the right things.
Yeah,
but that's a very player form heavy position that he's rocking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very true.
But well done, Man City, really, and West Ham, a little blip, tiny blip, but to be expected, and maybe Angers held themselves well. I mean, Moyes got to be in there for a shout of manager of the year if he keeps this up. If he gets some top four, I think he's manager of the year now.
Okay, yeah, will he? Do you think they'll hold off the fight of Chelsea? That's their real push. Liverpool 5 points behind.
No, I think West Ham will fade out of the top four.
Yeah.
I think they will. I think it's just. I just think. I mean, Moyes wasn't exactly great. I think he got Everton into the Champions League
once,
qualified for Champions League once, and they got knocked out by, I want to say, Villarreal again in the
playoff,
in the final knockout round. So it's not like he's adept at getting sides into Europe. So I think it will get a little bit nervy. And what helps West Ham is having no fans in the stadium, so that might help them through this. It will get jittery near the end there if they're trying to get results, because the West Ham stadium is not exactly known for its supportive atmosphere.
I tell you what, I reckon if fans are allowed in now, it would help West Ham, because I think it would be because they're flying high. I think, don't get me wrong, I do think they've been flying because the fans aren't there, and they haven't had that sort of negative at the board and things like that. But I think if fans came in now, I think it would boost West Ham.
It would take one result against Big Sam's West Brom to go against them, and it would fall apart. I feel.
So you said if West Ham get top four, Dave Moyes would be your manager of the year?
I think so.
What if Man City win all their games from now until the end, and the record will be 20-something games, 30 potentially? No, 24, I think.
Well, they win every single Premier League game from here to the end of the season. Yeah. Oh yeah, Guardiola's getting that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, okay.
And if he wins everything, he's getting it. And unfortunate for David Moyes, but yeah. It's outstanding. It's funny because when I mentioned earlier about Manager of the Month sewed up, it's not really Manager of the Month, is it? It's Team of the Month.
It's team. Yeah, that's the thing. It's team.
Because there's other nuances to being a manager. You might have tactically changed things throughout the month. Like you pick out a player because players performed, but it's not Manager of the Month. It's just a Team of the Month.
Yeah. Squad club. Club of the Month. It's everyone, isn't it? It's everyone.
Yeah. So, everybody's. I do think there needs to be. You know how we have form tables for clubs.
Yeah.
I do feel there needs to be a form table for. It would have to be attacking players, like goals and assists in the last 6 games. I think that was quite a nice table to see who's running hot.
I think that'd be quite good. Yeah. So,
or maybe even then to look at further and put in terms of what they're doing for their team, because players will know, like, I'm the only one here who's getting the goals, and so in proportion to what their teams perform, like they may have only got 2 goals in the last 5 games, but they're all the goals that their team scored. So like,
it'd be like Bruno Fernandes and then everyone else. Sorry, hitting my mic. Yeah. So well, I'm a bit conscious of time. Let's move on. Yeah, because
let's go on to the Liam Ridgewell derby, West Brom v Brighton. The Lee Mason experiment. Yeah. Whoa, he messed this right up. Right. So let me check. I put out a poll. Okay.
Right. Whilst you're checking that very quickly, lovely finish from Kyle Bartley, classic West Ham goal. West Brom's Big Sam goal, 1-0. They're playing very much as a Big Sam team right now. Over to the poll.
Do you think Brighton's goal should have counted? Simple yes or no. Where did you vote, Dave?
Yes. I didn't vote. I didn't see it, but I would have voted yes. Sorry.
I went no, and yes won 62 to 38% with yes. Should have counted. So, for anyone who hasn't seen it, watch it, because it's a masterclass on how not to referee. It is awful. So, outside the box, free kick outside the edge box. Sam Johnson's lining up the wall, and and it's not a rule, but it's general courtesy that the referee will then restart the game with a whistle, but he would traditionally wait for the goalkeeper to be back in position because he's had to go to a post lineup as well. What Lee Mason has done is told Lewis Dunk he can proceed, Lewis Dunk, and therefore blown the whistle.
I'm putting my hand up to interrupt you, Josh. So that isn't actually traditionally true. So traditionally, the attacking player can ask the referee, "Can I take this?"
Yes, but he's told him to wait for a whistle, isn't he?
Yeah, but then it's the referee doesn't have to wait for the goalkeeper to be ready. The referee can say the attacking team wants to get on with it, blow the whistle and go. Lee Mason, that's where this all falls down, because you can carry on telling the story and then we'll come back into it.
Well, I think Lee Mason would have. I think he's waiting for the keeper to be ready, and then realises he hasn't done that key element of what he was wanting to do. As blowing the whistle start and goes, "Oh my goodness, where's the goalkeeper? Quick, stop!" The kick's been taken. It's maybe in the back of the net. I'm still not quite sure. And that's what their crux of it is. And so he blows a second whistle, and therefore Brighton go, "Okay, great, we've scored." But then we have it's first of all disallowed.
Yeah.
It's then allowed.
Yeah.
It's then VAR checked because of the timing of his second whistle, is then disallowed again.
Yeah.
Clear as mud. But for me, I think what could have been sorted of is if Lee Mason had some balls and would have gone, "Sorry, I wanted to wait for the keeper. I didn't realise it was on there. Let's just take it again, please." Come on, you don't realise it's not a done thing. I mean, it's not a done thing, but it's something that has happened to Brighton in recent memory before, because they scored against Liverpool like this.
Yeah.
Last season it was. Adrian came on for the sent-off Alisson.
Yes.
And wasn't given any time. I think it was Martin Atkinson, blew the whistle. Lewis Dunk again kicked the ball into the back of the net. So I think it's a Lewis Dunk little, "Can I take it? Can I take it? Can I take it?" type thing, just based off those incidents. But I think Lee Mason, if he had just gone, "Look, I've blown it. Sorry, I thought the keeper was ready. Let's just reset and go again." But the fact that they had the back and forth, allowed, disallowed, it's just made it farcical. Asking Daddy VAR to step in, shocking.
Has Lee Mason crumbled to pressure of Brighton going, "That's allowed"? And then West Brom going, "No, you can't allow that because we heard a whistle second." And the thing with me is that all this is done, in my opinion, and taking away referees and VAR and all that sort of stuff, all this has done is prove to me that the defence will always get the decision, which shouldn't be, in my opinion, shouldn't be the case. You should be making football more entertaining with goals. So
my takeaway from this is that referees can be pressurised and are fragile mentally, because there's a bit where he's back at the halfway line and he mops his brow and you just think, "I know what you're feeling," and I feel a little bit sorry for him. I must admit, he must be thinking. I mean, one, he's probably relieved there's no fans in the stadium.
Yeah. Oh my word, yeah.
But he's also thinking, "Oh my God, just swallow me up and just can I go home to mummy? This is just really, really bad."
It was awful to be able to. It was one of those things where, as I said right at the beginning, like my PC's been repairing, so I was downloading stuff and getting everything back up to scratch to how it should be. And it was one of those games I was like, I'm going to put it on the background. It's going to be terrible. And I'm well happy I had it on in the background and I was watching it, because that was like, I've never seen anything that ridiculous ever.
No.
And VAR complicated it more, because if VAR didn't exist, Lee Mason would have gone, "That's disallowed."
Absolutely, yeah. That's what makes him think, "Oh God, this is gonna be drawn out for longer," because they can look at the intricacies of it. He would have just, knowing that you're making the decisions and you just got to stick to it. You make decisions quicker. I know it just from when you're at work, when you're the manager, and rather than having to ask someone's permission or think about the knock-on impact, you just make a decision and go for it, and it's much cleaner.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the rest of the game, because obviously, Brighton, I feel for Brighton fans. I really do. Obviously, I'm one of them now. I'm a Brighton fan. We announced earlier in this podcast. You miss 2 penalties. You miss, I'd say, Conley's is bordering on open goal, and another few chances, and you lose 1-0. You got to think, "Oh my goodness, it's just awful." It's a blip of it. They're not normally like this. I know.
Well, they
XG
are. They miss so many chances. They
yes,
are
but
like
not
this.
in relation to their XG. They are underperforming. They got their expected goals, and the expected goals against is the other sides are finishing better. Basically, they're finishing worse, and the other sides are finishing better. It's a perfect storm for just absolute shocker. Um, but you do look at the thing is you do look at their forwards and you go, you're not good enough. Connolly, I think Connolly's never going to be.
Agree. Agreed.
He's one of he's of the Shane Long school of strikers. He's running around. He's energetic, but you've no way got the Midas touch. I mean, he has scored against Spurs last year, which makes me sick to the back of my throat. But
hang on, you just want to go back a little bit where you said Brighton are normally quite good for their XG. Right?
Last season they performed at their XG.
Last season or this season?
2019, 2020, they performed
I'm not looking at those
in
stats.
line with their XG. This year, they're underperforming.
Yeah, this year they've got an XG of 28.45 and they've got 17 goals from open play.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. But I think last year ended up like it was something like 50-50. I was in like 50 expected, 50 scored. Something like it was in line. It's just
okay. All right, I'll give you that.
But the bit I want to take away from it is, I would say, and it's a hard sell. I'd say Graham Potter is too good for Brighton.
I can't disagree with it. So I guess that means I'm agreeing with you.
So I would, I have a club in mind that is where I could see him fitting nicely, a bigger job in the Premier League. Where do you think you'd like to see him go? Sorry for Brighton fans, selling your manager or releasing your manager, but it's nice to hypothesize about things because if you've got a really good player, I'll talk about Tarek Lamptey and I'll talk about Basuma. They're better players than I think with Brighton's level at. Maybe they can level up with a better forward, but for the interest of discussion, where do you think Graham Potter would be?
I like a Southampton. I could see him at a Southampton and pushing them to it's very similar to Hasenhüttl, but a different sort of manager in like pushing them onto a level challenging for Europe sort of thing. I think the club culture seems quite good at Southampton for someone like Potter. I think that is sort of where I would see him, but I feel like you're
Brighton and Southampton rivals of sorts, being South Coast. I don't think they are, I mean, this is probably a bit of a step too far, but I had Leicester in mind.
Yeah, okay. I think right now that seems a step a bit too far, but I think
that's probably because they're overachieving slightly with Rodgers, I'd say. And
yeah.
I mean, the problem would be, right? It'll be, okay, so give it a year and, Rodgers leaves, Vardy retires, and then you're left with Potter comes in at Leicester, and then the same things will be labelled against him. Oh, I can't get strikers to score. It's like because he's lost Vardy. You've got Kelechi and Acho up front. No wonder he's not scoring.
Could you agree with, so Shiv's written a comment in, could you agree with plays top 6 football with a bottom 6 squad, Graham Potter?
It almost seems like it's like the Pep Guardiola experiment of like Lee Dixon mentioned the other day. I'd like to see him manage a lower. This is how I imagine it would go. Like not to over extreme, but it is kind of like Pep Guardiola managing a lower end side. It is. It's a testament to him. He's got his ideas across and they're functioning, but just quiet.
So in the chat we've had a few things. Maybe one day Potter to Arsenal, and then Ross recants that straight away and says maybe not Arsenal but Everton.
I can't see the Everton one. So do you know what we should mention? I could see a Wolves. I mean, he's not Portuguese, but I'd like to see that. It'd have to be a change of structure there, but I like that.
I can't see him managing a team of players in orange and gold.
You're not?
And amber. No, I don't think I can. No, you say when you see like a player fits a shirt. I couldn't see Graham Potter fitting the Wolves logo on a jacket. It just looks a bit weird. I think it looks a bit weird. Yeah, I think it look a bit weird. But yeah, no, good, interesting.
But West Brom get a win, but it's too much. Too much to do for the tail end of the season.
Also, a quick shout out to Danny Welbeck's penalty where he hit the post and then went to put in the rebound, and then the ref obviously gave a foul because that is the rule. You're not allowed to hit it unless another player touches it. And Danny Welbeck's argument was, but it hit the post. So well done, Danny. Brilliant. Well done for knowing the rules.
I mean, well done for Lee Mason for adhering to the rules.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Although he probably did have a quick check with VAR. Have I got that one right? Have I got that right?
Right, let's move on to the Eric Bakker derby. Leeds versus Villa.
Eric Bakker.
1-0 Villa, and pretty poor game overall, but Villa's defence again proved to be different. So their 13th clean sheet of the season.
He's Martinez has stepped in well, I think. Martinez is still playing really well for them. We've talked about Konza before. It's
a settled side. This is what I like. 9 of their players they played 24 games a season. 9 of them have played 21 games or more.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's a settled side. And at the end of last season, only 2 players have played that proportion of the game time. Mings and Grealish have played it. And I had a look, and so I was interested in this. So last year, 54 players played 85% or more of their side's minutes.
Yeah.
Sheffield United had the most with 6. Wolves and Liverpool had 5 each. And I think you can look at all those 3 sides played pretty well last year. Obviously, Sheffield United were, probably the standout overachievers. Liverpool won the league, and Wolves did again a nice settled side and finished probably 6th, 7th, I think it was. Besides, there were 5 sides who only had 1 player play that proportion of the minutes. Villa, Tottenham. Tottenham, City, West Ham, Arsenal, Bournemouth. Villa obviously had 2. We had obviously Bournemouth get relegated. We had West Ham finish on 17th, 18th. We had City didn't win the league, and Tottenham and Arsenal both fell away where they struggled. So it's that consistency. I mean, they've been blessed, and I felt like Wolves were probably fortunate in previous years. They had a settled squad, and Nuno didn't rotate. But now obviously Villa have got. It's not only that, but it's the players you want playing those minutes.
That's the key. Yeah, I think
Liverpool have actually had a number of players play a lot of minutes this season, but they're missing the centre backs. They've got like 5 midfielders playing that and like 2 defenders doing that. So that's not what you want. But that settled side, that settled defence. I mean, all of their defenders fall into that bracket. Their back 5 falls into those 9 players.
Yeah.
And just for Ross Barkley's injury, it would be another one, and then they kind of been floating around with who to.
I think it's testament to Villa that they got that win without Jack Grealish as well. Obviously, that's been a big problem area for them. The fact that Jack Grealish normally being out of the side means they lose that fluidity, but it was a good performance from them. It's been mentioned in the chat as well that it's good to see them win without him. It shows they can do it, and I think that's a confidence booster.
Do they need to get used to that?
I don't. If it. The problem is that Villa have done really well. If Villa were, 13th to 15th, 13th, 14th or 15th, I would say, they've got to get used to it. But because they're quite comfortably top half, I would say now, in the league this season. They still might finish 10th or below, but I think Grealish will see this as long as the club... Basically, I think the club are going to have to promise Jack Grealish there's going to be investment. I don't think it's really promising the manager. I think it's promising Jack Grealish to say, we're going to take this club to the level that you want it to be at so that we don't lose you. And that's what I think is the key. And I think they will. I think they'll try and invest again sensibly like they did last summer to push them on to the next level. And I think Grealish will now be there. If it all falls off at the end of the season.
It'll be interesting to see where they can go with that, because the side's performing well, and you think, what's the weak link? You've had... Goalkeeper seems functional, good. Matt Targett, tried his best to get sent off yesterday, but he's actually been a very good left back for Matty Cash. Obviously came in, they wouldn't be replacing him. Konsa and Mings, maybe you could see something happening there, but I think that's pretty settled. Good. I don't think that back 5 is. 13 clean sheets, and so 50% clean sheets so far. Great plan. So I don't think that looks. Douglas Luiz. That's fine. You've got Jack Grealish. Maybe signing Ross Barkley permanently if they think that's the way to go. Probably another. McGinn's the other midfielder there that you kind of I'd say is good, but could probably be improved. Ollie Watkins, obviously a striker that they've produced, but it might not be then that it's the first team that they're strengthened. It's when we spoke about Villa. There's a bit of a failing all year is that I think the second string comes out. But the same again, Marvelous Nakamura had a great game yesterday, and I think they're yet to concede of him playing, but I think there's a little bit more in their squad they can do.
Yeah. So my thing with Villa is that it's very strange. 'Cause obviously, clubs normally have second season syndrome. Like, I'm wondering if this could be like second squad syndrome, a sort of thing. Like, we've never seen Martinez have a prolonged Premier League appearances, and this is
he's not had to deal with his blip yet, is he? The longer you play, you're going to have that blip. He's not yet had to deal with it. He's been riding this wave.
And we haven't seen Konza really have a blip at the moment. Tyrone Mings obviously was there last season. Konza was there, but wasn't the starting centre back, if I remember rightly. I think it was someone else.
Yes, the I want to say Scandinavian. Engels.
Yeah, that was it. And then and Ross Barkley, he's on a bit of a. He still feels like Ross Barkley's on the wave of he signed and everything started really well. Yeah, then he got injured, but he's come back and it's gone well. And there hasn't been that blip. And I was going to say Arsenal, but even Liverpool, can show you. Okay, Liverpool struggle with injuries, but Alisson is now in a blip, and he's been in a blip for a couple of games, and that is huge. And if Martinez has that blip, how does it react to it? What happens to the whole squad?
Do the other players, build around him, and does it make other players question their decisions?
And that's my worry I have with Villa next season, is that no one's seen that. No one's seen how they will react to that. And you could argue and say that the relegation battle they were in last season that's proof that they've got the character to sort of come out of it. And I like having Villa in the Premier League. I went to Birmingham University, and they were a team that I saw a lot of at uni.
Yeah, for me, they're a Premier League side.
But they're a Premier League side, yeah. And I like them there. And I really hope they do take this opportunity to strengthen and support the team through longevity in the Premier League. So, yeah.
I mean, it seemed like previously, getting relegated might have been the end of Villa as you know it. Like the debts that they had, and how reliant they were. Now they seem to be a lot better run, and obviously the Premier League money's helped them. All right. So Leeds conceding less. Bamford's still scoring a few goals, but it seems to be peaching. It seems to be just they were going to just kind of win lose their way to the end of the season. It's going to.
Let's not lie. If you offered a Leeds fan, what are we, like 3/4 of the way through the season, just before 3/4 of the way through the season? If you'd offer a Leeds fan to be dead on mid-table with a goal difference of -1 at this point of the season, they'd snap your hand off. So
above Arsenal, above Wolves, above Southampton. I think so. Yeah. Build on for next. That's the interesting bit. Will be what they can do for next season. All right. Last match. Temuka Spire Derby, Newcastle v Wolves. Take it away, Dave, because as I mentioned earlier, I've seen this up to a certain point. So I'm hoping it's 1-1. Yes.
It was 1-1. Yeah, it was 1-0, and it was very interesting. First half, not too much happened. It looks like Almiron picked up a nasty injury, had to be subbed off at half time. He's gone for a scan, and Steve Bruce is talking already about fearing the worst. I feel like Steve Bruce is a bit of a fearmonger, negative character anyway. Like, if you told him that the ketchup had run out in the cupboard, he'd throw a tantrum and say like ketchup's run out everywhere, not you can just go and buy another one from the shop, or Almiron's got to have a scan, so let's fear the worst. I was trying to get a kebab pun in there because I love
ketchup chow. He's not a ketchup guy, he's mayo, and he's gravy. He's
burger sauce, mate. I'm telling you, all over that kebab.
He might be burger sauce as well, actually.
I'm a burger sauce.
In fact,
man.
I think he liked a few. I think he liked it moist.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, he does. But anyway, it was a lovely header from Jamal Lascelles. Ryan Fraser with the assist from the cross. Good header, but it was same old Newcastle. They were playing okay. They got the lead. They sat back, and it invited pressure on themselves. And Ruben Neves got the goal, to make it 1-1. And it was.
Was that Ruben Neves' goal inside the area?
It was a Ruben Neves goal inside the area.
I mean, not a penalty.
It was
he scores either blooters from outside or penalties inside.
It was 1, a Ruben Neves goal inside the area. 2, his first ever headed goal. So, yeah.
This for me was the battle of the most exciting wingers in the Premier League. Who would you rather have?
Sorry, I missed that.
This was the battle of the 2 most exciting wingers. Who would you rather have, Traore or St. Maximin?
ASM.
I'm imagining them in the same side. I'd love that.
St. Maximin, I think I'd go with.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like he's more flair than Adama Traore. I think Traore is knock it and run.
I think Traore's is from brute
Yeah.
And there's obviously technical ability there, but there's nothing exciting. It's literally he just knows how to dribble. Like he shifts it around you and go just because he can just run so quickly. Whereas Maximin, has got something special. But those two, I'd love to have those two on the same side.
Yeah, it would be absolutely brilliant if they were. But I mean, the game itself, Newcastle, if Fulham get a win somehow, it's down to like 2 points, is it?
Yeah, well, Fulham, obviously, Crystal Palace, Fulham today.
Yeah, so Fulham win that. So it's
big.
1 point.
That's really big.
It's 1 point if Fulham win that. Apologies for Josh's screen going a little bit strange on the podcast, everybody. It'll come back. Don't worry, it'll come back. But yeah, so and it's never good when the club captain Jamal Lascelles has to come out and be like, right, no, we need to stop talking and actually go and get the points because we're not playing as well as we should. I still think whatever happens this season, Steve Bruce is gone.
Do you?
Yeah, I think even if he keeps them up, if he gets relegated, he's going to be sacked. If he keeps them up, he's going to be sacked because it's not going to be nice, is it? Even for Ashley, he can't be. Actually, I'll tell you what. It's another situation where the fans are making a difference not being in the stadium. And I think as soon as they're allowed back in, Ashley will have to...
the last game of the season, it seems, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think Ashley will have to do something. And that something is pull the trigger. He's trying to sell the club. No one wants to buy it.
Lampard in. I've got all these transfer merry-go-rounds going around in my head.
Well, it's too far north for Lampard, isn't it?
I don't know. He's got a touch of a Keegan's about him. I think he could...
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Lampard in for like 2/3 of the season, and then realise he's going to get him relegated. All right, well let's move
hang on. Just before we move on, Shiv, obviously a Wolves fan, is in the chat saying, ironically, we actually played Steve Bruce type of football, but Nuno won't get stick because of his tasty Iberian name.
I also like him the fact that he called out Lee Mason a few weeks back and called him. I love that his phrasing was, "He's not good enough to whistle the match." I just love the turn of phrase.
And also, when Nuno gets annoyed, he's not going to go and eat a kebab at a kebab shop. He'll eat peri-peri chicken from Nando's or something.
Nando's, yeah. I mean, we spoke about it a few weeks back. I mean, probably a little bit longer actually. That Nuno was edging close to the door. I mean, it's been hard. I mean, it isn't great football, I agree, and it's very samey as well. There's a plan A. Yeah.
The thing with Nuno, I know Wolves have played a couple more games than some teams above, and and don't have any games in hand anyone. But if results go their way, with a win, they could jump from 12th to 9th, and then it's not too bad a season. But I think it is more around the aesthetics of the football, like Shiv was saying, because last year obviously it was all very nice to watch as well as results. So. Yeah. Well,
it's always happy when you're on the up and when you're winning. It just showing that there's a lack of plan B really with the injuries that they faced and chances they were brought in haven't really been positive. I don't think you can look at them and go they've made a big difference.
True. Quick shout out if you are watching, listening, please leave a like and all that stuff. Thanks for the comments. Shiv, I'm going to fire a question at you in the chat and say if Nuno goes, who comes in? Who's your choice? Who's your choice as next Wolves manager?
What's your knowledge of unknown Portuguese managers like?
Yeah, or AVB/AVB. So
it might be, yeah. Let's quickly talk then today's football. We've obviously got some kick-off start within the hour. So we've got Crystal Palace Fulham, big match down the bottom there. Fulham go with 1 point of 17th place from Newcastle. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go. I can't remember what I actually put in my predictions league, so I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham.
It would also be within 1 point of 16th place Brighton as well because they're all around there. So
I've got a feeling I actually predicted 2-1 Crystal Palace, but I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham on today. Today's the day.
2-1 Fulham, okay. I think it would be another draw for Fulham. I just don't think they can push themselves over the line quite as well. But I mean, it is the Palace side again does not have Zaha, which is good for Fulham. Leicester v Arsenal. We have Aubameyang and Saka both benched. Do we think that Arsenal may be prioritising Europa League?
I think they are. 1-1. I'm going to go for this one. I think it could actually. Do you know what? That could be a very good tactic from Arteta. Try and knacker out the Leicester defenders and bring on Saka on the wing and Aubameyang up front for pace.
Do you think they're going to have the attacking play to knacker them out? I'm not sure that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. 1-1. 1-1. Score draw.
Okay. Big match. Spurs v Burnley.
Score draw 1-1.
You kidding me,
mate? 1-1.
Spurs are out of they're in their slinky run of form. I think the Spurs are due a nice run now. I think we're going to have Gareth Bale scoring.
I'm going to be honest with you, Josh. I would have said a Spurs win, but you're wearing the Spurs top, so we know it's not going to happen.
Oh no, I've done it.
You've done it. 1-1, and you're not going to lose. It's not going to be that bad, but yeah, 1-1.
Okay, Chelsea versus United.
Comments in the chat. Josh's face when I said 1-1. Yeah, too right. Sorry. Where did we get to?
Your big match. Are you staying up for it, Chelsea United?
I'm tempted to because I start work late on Mondays, so I probably will get up for it.
That won't be worth your while.
Yeah, I said that.
That will not be worth your while, David. You will regret getting up for that.
Probably. I said
not the result you're looking for.
I think predictions. I said 1-1 last night when my mate played golf. I played golf with my mate. I think I said 2-1 United. So I'm going to cover all bases and go 2-1 Chelsea.
I was surprised to see Bruno playing against Sociedad. I don't quite know why that happened. Chelsea's defence has been on point. I mean, they've conceded. I think he's got a record. Only Mourinho's got a better start to his Chelsea career in terms of goals conceded. I'm not expecting many goals. I'm thinking kind of 0-0 with this, actually.
I don't think it'll be 0-0 because it's not Mourinho's Chelsea. I think Tuchel will come and attack us, and I think that'll open up one way or another, open up goals.
Yeah, good to see Hudson-Odoi back in the starting 11 after dragging him through the mud.
Let's see how long he's given. Let's see how long he's given.
And then Sheffield United v Liverpool. This surely is a return to winning ways for Liverpool.
It's got to be, innit? It has to be, which means it probably won't, because we're sitting there saying it has to be. It has to be. They have to win it, otherwise, what on earth has happened? If they don't win it, what on earth has happened? Because it's still Sheffield United. It's still Aaron Ramsdale, who's terrible. It's still.
You're scoring because Aaron Ramsdale does not keep clean sheets.
Yeah, exactly.
He wets the bed every night. That's how bad he is. Can't even keep his own sheets clean, dirty Bertie. Right.
But yeah, there we go. Shiv did get back to me and he said he would take
previews.
He would take Potter. He would take Graham Potter from Brighton at Wolves. I said, the colours don't match, so he's not on my list. And or Marsh at Salzburg, unproven, but he's doing well. Attractive football. He just wants to be entertained. So don't we all?
Don't we all? That's why I want like a Nagelsmann. I want entertainment. I want someone who can coach attacking players and have really intriguing attacking plays rather than let Kane and Son run. Okay, right. Let's move on to the Wikifile. Hit me, Dave.
Exactly.
No. Yes.
I got a Wikifile for you. Right. Oh, the cameras aren't on. You'll have to. Those on YouTube, apologies. Our cameras aren't on the Wikifile page, but it's going to be right faff to sort it out now. So, Josh has sent me a Wikifile, haven't you, Josh?
I have.
Love it when it's a youth. When they start a youth career at a team I've never heard of. I love it.
Do you want me to give you a bit of background? No, I won't give you any background about it. I'll give you a clue.
Jomo Cosmos really sounds American because I'm thinking of the New York Cosmos, but
it is linked to New York Cosmos. You're right, but
Jomo. I don't know where Jomo is. Right,
I'll tell you.
Youth career: Jomo Cosmos, and then Bayer Leverkusen. But his senior career, he started at Ajax in 1999 until 2003. 7 appearances. Just point out as well that I maximise the window so I can't see chat when this happens, and it's the same with the quiz. So if you're putting it in, have your guesses in the quiz. I can't see them in the comments. Sorry, 99 to 2003. Ajax, 7 appearances, 0 goals, not really featuring there. 2001 went out on loan to Germinal Beerschot, 12 appearances, 1 goal. 2002, they were happy with that, 1 goal in 12. They took him back. And he got 1 goal in 29. So I'm going to suggest if they were happy with 1 in 12, he must be a defender. Germinal Beerschot again. In 2003, he left Ajax and moved for 2 years at KRC Genk. 32 appearances, 1 goal. Has anyone ever called Genk KRC Genk, or do they just say Genk?
I say Crook Genk.
Crook Genk. Crook Genk. Okay. Do you call a KFC a Kufka?
Kufka, yeah.
Oh, Kufka, yeah.
Hot man chicken.
In 2005, he left them for his, what I assume is a Premier League stint at Blackburn Rovers. 2004.
All Premier League, baby. All Premier League.
All Premier League. 2005 to 2009. Blackburn Rovers. 101 appearances, 0 goals. Wow. Okay. Definitely got to be a defender. 2009 to 2012. Portsmouth. All Premier League.
First season Premier League didn't quite go well for him, and they got relegated.
Okay, brilliantly. 77 appearances, 2 goals for Portsmouth. 2012 to 2013, Bidvest Wits. That sounds like quite a drop even from Portsmouth. 14 appearances, 0 goals. That's how he finished his career. So I'm trying to figure out what age he is roughly to. I mean, senior appearance at Ajax 99, probably what you'd say 18 maybe, 18, 19. It's not very. So I guess 30. Yeah, that would make him 32 when he retired if I've got those ages right. 272 appearances, 5 goals in total. What's throwing me off is that I mean, Jomo Cosmos. Jomo, I immediately think like Johannesburg, and I immediately think obviously like Africa for Jomo, and I'm going Johannesburg, so I'm going to say South African. But South Africa to Germany is quite the jump, and then to Ajax in Holland. I've got no one jumping out at me, so I'm going to say, Josh, can you confirm that it's a defender?
I can confirm that his one of his positions on Wikipedia is centre-back.
Would you say that's where I know him playing in the Premier League?
I would say that or defensive midfielder.
Okay. I've not got anyone. I'm gonna have to go full hog. Is he South African?
South African, yeah. Do you want the stats?
Is Jomo Cosmos Johannesburg?
So Jomo Cosmos, named after football legend Jomo Sono, and he played for Orlando Pirates, New York Cosmos, Colorado Caribous, Atlanta Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and Toronto Blizzard. But yes, he is a South African football club owner and named the Black Prince of South African football, Bra J or Mojo Mama.
Okay, so yeah, go on international stats. Then I've got the.
We have 107 appearances and 1 goal for South Africa.
Oh my word! Okay, I don't.
And I'll help you out. Bidvest Wits, also a South African side, or were a South African side, also known as Wits University. Their nickname were the Clever Boys or the Students.
Amazing. See, now, I can't really picture a Blackburn Rovers South African holding midfielder / centre-back. But I've got a feeling in Portsmouth I've got one in my head. And I've got a feeling he was a bit of a hero for them. I'm not talking like Linvoy Primus sort of hero. I'm talking like he was really like a fan favourite.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I'm going to take a stab in the dark. And I'm going to go, because it's the only name I can really put to a Portsmouth shirt in my head. I'm going to go Mokoena. Aaron Mokoena, is it?
Oh, well done.
Come on.
Aaron Mokoena.
Oh, it was a stab.
Lovely work, Dave.
It was a stab in the dark. So let me just quickly flick back to the screens where we're on and look at the chat. Chameleon's right in there. The club is South African. That's Aaron Mokoena, Pompey legend. Spot on there from Chameleon. I'm going to say Ross didn't know, so he just gave us the factual information that Germinal Beer Shop were dissolved in 2013.
This guy plays. So they've gone. Bidvest Wits have gone. Portsmouth almost went. This guy's an unlucky charm.
But yeah, Aaron Mokoena. Macarena?
Hey, Mokoena.
Yeah. That's
If
all
that
I
wasn't
see.
a chant, it's disgusting.
I mean, 101 caps for South Africa. That's
No, 107.
so 107. One goal. Sorry, yeah, one goal.
One goal, yeah. I
Well
mean,
played.
what's the record? Who's most appearances? Yeah, he is top of the list. He has made the most appearances for South Africa ever.
Wow.
Other names in that list are Shabalala,
Yeah.
obviously known for his great goal in the opening
Yeah.
game, was it?
Opening game. Yeah, opening game.
Nomvete, Benny McCarthy, Sean Bartlett, Delron Buckley, Lucas Radaby,
Oh yeah.
and yeah.
We had a little chat about him. Is that the link? Is that what took
That's
you
the
there?
link. I was going to pose Dave Lucas Radaby as an option, but realised he had only played for two clubs, and I was like, well, that's not going to be great, and one of them was Leeds. So
Yeah.
I then had other South Africans in Premier League.
Very nice. Very nice. Shiv has just given us some information. Lee Mason will not be the fourth official for Liverpool v Sheffield United today due to an injury he's picked up in yesterday's game, which has just been confirmed by Sky Sports. That is like, I can't play PE today because it wasn't because I embarrassed myself in the playground yesterday, but I've got a doctor's note that says I'm ill.
It's an injury. I mean, the only thing is, that's quite impressive. Yeah.
His ego. Injury to his ego. That's the only thing
Yeah.
he's got. Bloody hell. Unbelievable. Right.
Right, well, to loop back round then, if anyone was listening at the start when I offered Dave a quote from a film, and it was "Good luck." I don't know if anyone got that, but the film is Taken, starring Liam Neeson, where he reels off he's got a special set of skills to get people like this, and he says "Good luck" down the phone, the Albanian gangster, and that is Dave hasn't seen Taken, by the way, as well, which is just I don't know,
No,
does he
and
not
also,
like mindless violence?
when this question was first posed to me, Josh went, "Good luck." Do you know that film quote? I was like,
Well, because Dave was trying hard at something, so I was like, I'm going to offer him some good luck, but I will just layer it within a quote because that's.
yeah, but you
how my
said
brain
two
works.
words and went, name the film. I was like, there's loads of films where people say good
I
luck.
put on a thick Albanian accent, Dave.
Well, you didn't. You sounded like Arnie Schwarzenegger.
Albania, Austria, same thing. They're not the same thing. They're very different. Right, well, that brings an end to this week's podcast. Thank you for listening. And if you're us live on YouTube, thank you for all your questions and interactions. Lovely to speak to people about football. But if you want to get hold of us before next week's show, you can find us on Twitter @FootballTalk. But remember,
There's no A in football.
there's no A in football. But see you next week and goodbye.